seems like that. Alokji, thank you for joining us and putting your thoughts together. Tehseen, now here we are. Any tax cut by its nature should be something to celebrate. Any reform like this is something to celebrate. A lot of things will become cheaper. Everybody benefits. You and I will be paying less when we are buying things tomorrow. It becomes cheaper. Happy news in a happy time, or are we doing this as a reaction because we are expecting trouble because of tariffs and whatnot?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. If I may elaborate, and I've been one of the biggest voices in the nation as an opposition against what I call GST extortion. I make a prediction, I still stick to that prediction. The downfall of the Narendra Modi ji government will be Nirmala Sitharaman ji's ministry and her band of babus. These babus, for every solution, find a problem. They are the most terrible babus in the history of independent India. But let me come to the issue at hand. So first, I welcome the Honorable Prime Minister, what he said with the reforms, GST 2.0. But this is one baby step in the long range of reforms required. One very small baby step. I'll explain why. GST is now become an extortion tool. The problem is, okay, you've got it down from 4 slabs pre-GST 2.0 to 3 slabs now. But there's still confusion. GST should have just been 2 slabs, 5% and 18%. Roti, kapda, makan, 5%, everything else 18%. The number of slabs that you still have. Then you have a 0% which Jig spoke about. The 0% is anyways on extremely essential items. But for example, sanitary napkins. But is the products used for making the sanitary napkin GST free? That's not happened. Then you have this 5% credit, for example, for restaurants, but they don't get an input tax. But when they are paying rent for their restaurants, there's GST on it. So there is still such bureaucratic hurdles, and within these hurdles, the babus come in and use GST as an extortion. Let me give you an example. And I'm completely against this 40% nonsense. Who decides what is luxury and sinful? I don't consume either soft drinks or energy drinks. But how does a middle class person or a hardworking person after a hard day of work picking up an aerated drink make it luxury or sinful, or picking up an energy drink after his gym or her gym? And how is that not applicable for flavored milk, which in my opinion could be much more harmful considering the quality either of the milk or the quality of the sugar? So again, there is such confusion that allows for ambiguity. But let me come to the larger issue at hand. The larger issue at hand is, until and unless taxation is not simplified, where a man, once he or she, somebody like you, Rishabh, what we pay, what we earn, we pay our taxes and we are out of it. Until that doesn't happen, we will continue to be a nation that is fleeced by these tax authorities. Now, there are so many issues. Nirmala ji announced up to 12 lakhs, there is no income tax. She is misleading the country. There is income tax. It's not that there is no tax on it. It is rebates on it. And the conditions for the rebates are so high that everyone is forced to migrate to the new income tax rate if you want those rebates. So those who are on the old rate, people like me, who've taken government bonds and government policies based on government assurances, are hanging either ways. So you see what they're doing. They're being smart by half. They just make headline announcements. What about the working? Put those working out for the 12 lakhs. It's not no income tax to
okay,
12 lakhs.
But Tehseen, finish your thought, then I have a question.
Now, beyond 7 lakhs, if you spend your money abroad, if say Dilip or I go abroad and we spend our money, there is going to be an inquiry in India. After I've paid my tax, after I've done whatever I do with my money abroad or another sovereign nation, who's Nirmala Sitharaman ji's babus to see? What have they got to see with it? So you see the entire...
Okay, but Tehseen, reasonably that you could say that no matter what Narendra Modi does, okay, then there will be people such as yourself that for every solution he finds, you also find a problem. That if this you've done this is, if you cut 4 to 3, 3 is also wrong. I can have that argument on income tax because yes, it's graded. But GST is everybody. Things are going to become cheaper tomorrow morning. Are we saying that's a bad thing?
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But the problem of the GST was not merely getting inflation down. Let's understand. Okay, let me explain this as simply as I can. I want to lose weight, so I go cut off my leg. Yes, I will lose weight because I've lost a part of my body. But that's not the ideal solution. GST bringing down the tax rate is not to fight inflation. That's a very wrong notion. GST is a tax the nation gets to be used for development. Hence, it is being paid by entrepreneurs. Hence, the entrepreneurs must have a simplification, thereby encouraging investment in India, thereby encouraging more production in India, thereby encouraging more employment in India. That is what it should be. Not to get the tax rate down or to get inflation down. To get inflation down, there are several other
No, but
methods
I
that are
agree
much
to
more
you, but
important.
I also pose to you that GST, the concept of one India, one tax, to get rid of, as the PM just said, octroi and VAT and every state doing its own thing. Now, वो आके कर दिया, but then that was not enough. फिर tax rate
Yes.
काट दी, चीजें सस्ती कर दी. You are saying that's still not enough. Of course, it's never enough, but can't we say at least we're heading in the right direction?
Yes, we are. And therefore, I congratulated him. But think about this, Rishabh. Every person who has about 80 crore rupees in assets or 100 crore rupees in assets, Indian rupees, has bought a house in Dubai. You come right now with me in Dubai, you'll see half of Delhi, half of Bengaluru, half of Mumbai there. Everyone has a house in Singapore. Every single startup is moving to Dubai and Singapore. Why? It's because of the compliances. It's because of how these babus treat you like criminals.
Okay, I
It's
agree.
how they
Okay,
look
I
down
agree
upon
on
you.
principle.
And it is how they look down. I'll just end. Suppose you start a hotel which costs 100 crores to start a 5-star hotel. Okay, in Delhi, beautiful hotel. You start the amount of complications a simple constable in a police station or a simple constable in excise can take your license away. Government is partners in taking 50% of your revenue. But the government is not partners in your bad times with you.
I
even
wish
to come to Noida, Tehseen, if he has to come to Delhi, from Delhi to Noida in a car that the studio send him, we have to pay tax out there. Why? Even from Delhi to Noida, we have to pay tax. That's the problem in a studio car.
All right. Fair enough. But I wish that half of Delhi and Bengaluru had 100 crores in the bank. But on the premise that do people who make money then prefer to go to places like Dubai and Singapore, and that's an issue. It could be a lifestyle issue, but generally it's a taxation and compliance issue. Let me put it to Ajay Dua. Ajay Dua,